underground.
Yo, yo, yo. Welcome to the stream.
What's
Dude,
up?
how are we all feeling tonight?
Feeling groovy.
Oh, Bob, are you tired? I feel like all of us have done a lot of streams this week, but how many have you done? Like,
I'm so
6?
good, bro. No, I think this is this is only the 5th day in a row. The real problem is not that any of you care. My wife only travels twice a year, maybe for work. And this was one of those weeks. She was in Utah until like midnight Thursday. She got home. So it was a little weird. Suboptimal for me, I guess. Yeah, my youngest kid's 13 now, but we got a dog with a busted leg and everything that goes along with that. So, yeah, I'm exhausted, dude. Actually, this is the first time this week that after dinner I wasn't like, oh, I got to get psyched up. What do I need? I have to have pictures ready, blah, blah, blah. I was like, oh, cool. I just get to hang out and maybe get yelled at. I don't know. I did find myself wondering, like, what competitors are coming on here? I hope this is going to be like a, I don't know. I don't know what to expect, man. But no, I feel good tonight. Thank you guys, by the way, for everything you did to help organize this and the broadcast schedule and whatnot. I'm really excited to see. Is that weird? I'm just excited to see who wins the bracket contest at the end.
For sure.
Same. And we've got quite a few contestants lined up. I don't know that all of them will want to be on, but we've got, I think, probably 75% of them in the back room.
Oh, wow. So I should be prepared to rage quit. I'm trying to make it as dramatic as possible. Like,
yes.
I've actually throw the computer or at least slap the camera off the table. Yeah.
Dude, a quick comment about the super chats thing. Blaze, stop spending your allowance money here, okay? Dude, finish your printer first, then spend $2 on out of battery, okay?
Bro, and YouTube keeps like half of that, don't they? I'm guilty of it every now and then too, man. I'll be watching somebody's show and I literally like whatever is happening or think it's so funny that I'll click the button and put $1.99 or $4.99 in a thing. And by the time I get done, I'm like, man, I just gave people that hate me half my money.
True. Well, are we doing our thing now?
Yeah, let's talk about what's new in GunCAD first. So I'm going to bring this up. So this is our little, mnemonic deck of what's new in GunCAD. So first up, we got something pretty fun. Our homie Night Alliance visited a place somewhere. I'm not sure if we're supposed to say where Swamp Fox was doing a range day and made a very, very cool trailer about what Swamp Fox put on that day. So I'm going to show it to you guys. Give me 1 second. Here we go.
Yes, sir. Come up out of there. Gotta work. She gon' twerk it till she hurt. Get in work. Yes, sir. Come up out of there. Get in work. She gon' twerk, for the work. I got work.
Alright, that's what you want to get the stairs now?
Work, I got work. I got work. Yes, sir. Come up out of there. Gotta work. She gon' twerk it till she hurt. Get in work. Yes, sir. Come up out of there. Get in work. She gon' twerk, work, for the work. I got work, I got work. Whoa, go. Hey, top floor smoking into. Drop top, what you into? Hey, up in the zone, got me into you. I'm in the end zone, smoke the Frisco. I got these, so what you need, ho? Be like, please, oh, cause I need more. Pretty please, oh, come back and bust it, I'ma fuck around and real. I got work, I got work. I got work.
So, if you guys didn't catch that, we got some cameos from Chairman Juan. We got some cameos from, was that 3D Arms? I couldn't tell if that was him or not, or just someone that looked like him. And we got Night Alliance, dude. And so
Nice.
this is a shout out to all of you guys. Look for local events because there's some cool things people put on. So if there's a range day that's being put on by some big dogs near you, you should go check it out.
For sure.
Another video that we're going to run also from Night Alliance. Dude, the Michigan meetup that we had in Gunburn 2022, it was pretty crazy. And Night Alliance edited down some of the great footage from it and made a short little encapsulation of it that's pretty fucking lit. So I'm going to roll that right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, cult members, welcome to Gunburn 2022. How are you feeling?
Upload this.
Feel good.
Cut.
The oven.
Nice.
That fucking rocks, dude. And also, quick shout out to Mathematics for nailing the impossible 37 millimeter shot at the end. Like, for reference, that's a bunch of pallets, and he somehow shot a firework round through the hole in the pallets so that when it exploded, it was inside this replica oven made out of pallets. Honestly, wild, dude. Fine, I'll take it down. If we're getting super chats about it, I'll take it.
Super chats from
That's
people
right.
in the stream right now.
So what's up next and what's new in GunCat?
I think
Okay.
Fit's up.
These are the Hochul mags by Remnants from the catalog.
Nice.
They
He has something to say.
3D printable AR-15 magazine in honor of the first 3D printable magazine design, the Cuomo mag, named after the wonderful governor of New York, Kathy Hochul, who banned ghost guns this year. The components are compatible with a factory Gen 3P mag. The base holds 10 rounds with extensions for plus 10, plus 20, plus 30 windowed, and plus 20 windowed. They are held into the base with two M3 screws, which prevent them from backing out. There will be multiple different textures available for the extensions at a later release.
Dude,
Nice.
those windows are sexy as hell, dude. I like that a lot.
Print quality on those is amazing.
Yeah,
Let's
they look
go.
really good.
Yeah, mine are going to look way worse than that, but it's exciting enough photo that I will make my best effort.
Yeah, they look good. All right. Cape, are you talking about these?
I hope not, because I have no idea what this
So
is.
this is the Recession
Oh, Bit's
Ruger.
talking about them. Good. All right,
This
cool.
is the this is the Recession Ruger. It is a compatible with all Ruger P series kits. Uses Glock magazines. Features interchangeable rails, so in the event they are damaged or worn, they can be easily replaced.
Nice.
Only cost the red model there only costs about $40 to build, $25 for the kit, and $15 for the old junky fire control group.
God damn.
Oh, nice. That's really so. What the triple one here? That's still
It's
working.
not
Still
quite
working that one,
invaded.
right?
Yep, not quite invaded. So
Yeah.
you can do 49 and 45 all on one.
Like
if you
all
wanna
in the
do it.
same, like
Yeah.
all in the same gun. That
Yep.
seems excellent. Why wouldn't you want to do that?
Right, dude.
You can make so many people so mad about if you built that, right? I mean, that's just how that works. Or 3 9s. That's 27, right? That's. I mean, I have no idea.
No, I get it. I didn't know where that was going, but I can barely math. But a 3 9.
All right.
All right.
So
My
this
turn.
one, not the most family-friendly video we've ever run on the show, but get ready for it, boys.
Okay, well, so you guys know, so BLC, they had their Harlot spring jig they released, and now they have some more tools for you guys that want to have a large collection of Harlots, you know, just for any reason at all, just because you like to collect Harlots. For me personally, I'm going to start collecting like hundreds of them in my house. I'm just going to keep them around just in case, you know, I need to have 100 friends over and they all want to shoot my Harlots, or somebody offers me a dumb amount of money for them from some government agency or something like that. So since you can make your springs now at a, you know, a large amount, so you can make 100 Harlots, now also we're going to make our firing pin. So here we go. Oh yeah, it's almost there. Yep.
Dude.
All right, so there's a jig now to make your firing pins, boys. And I know the muscle memory is there already. You guys know how to make firing pins. I know you do. A bunch of incels. So it's ready. It's there. So go get that so you can make your Harlots. Right? Exactly.
There are none here.
Yeah, no adults tonight. Only masturbation jokes. All right.
Ooh.
Is this mine?
I believe so.
So sweet. So we have a video for this, but before we do the video, key things to identify here. So this is from Booligan. It is his like auto stabilized camera rig that you put a gun on. It's phenomenal. You see it in the video, but it does come with a chainsaw mount on the top. It also comes with what I believe he's calling the grip it and rip it. It is a linkage that allows you to hold the grip. It's kind of like a straight grip on the back, and you pull up on the trigger. It has the linkage that goes in there, which is going to be very interesting. So let's play the video and we'll check it out.
So a couple more quick details here about my AR-56 smart gun build, obviously inspired by the M56 smart gun from the movie Aliens. A couple people have asked, we discussed in one of the earlier videos about the amount of elevation that you have. So you can shoot down completely. You can actually even store the gun like that. But shooting up, you are limited if you're using this double drum mag. Keep in mind, you're shooting up at about a 30-degree angle. If you need a little bit more vertical elevation, do the Rockaware and lean back because it's attached to your body. Now, how does this attach to the rig? Well, I'm glad you asked. I designed a special little mount here that pivots, gives you that free rotation, and it locks firmly and bolts securely onto this handguard. And then when you want to attach it to the rig, you just stick it in the rig and you're in business. I did rectify the lack of the adios from the movie original. We did need to have that. That was important. And for future development of this, again, there are some things that I'm working on. A full targeting suite, which is going to include thermal and other cool features, and testing it with other magazines. So it appears that like a D60, which would sit down here, will give you that full rotation if you do really need to do that full vertical elevation. But for practical use of this completely impractical, goofy movie prop design that does happen to be a functional AR-15, it works fine with a double drum mag. Not anything that needs to be completely re-engineered. So yeah, stay tuned for more on this. And just remember, guys, don't take life so seriously. Sometimes it's okay to have fun with your guns.
If that's not the most Yankee Boogle thing I've ever seen in my life, I'd like to point out one thing. That Steadicam rig he is sporting is only $250 on Amazon. Go, 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 go.
Who needs Toyota Hiluxes when you have chest-mounted technicals? All right.
Right? You are the technical now. You don't even need a Toyota. All right. So I think that's everything new for what's new in GunCAD. And
let's talk about this week then.
Yeah, let's do it.
So much excitement. Bob is wore out.
I don't need to talk. Yeah, it's okay. You can just, I like to watch. I'm just kidding. Go ahead and do whatever y'all want to. What's up?
So this week, JSD hosted first ever invitational dev contest, right?
Mistakes were made.
Mistakes were made.
No, just the entire concept was a mistake.
No.
I'm not admitting to anything else.
You're letting them wear you down, Bob. You're letting them wear you down. Don't.
All right, Bob. Let me get you right here. So, why did you guys want to do this? First off, like what was the first concept on the why?
I feel like this feels very, what do I want to say? I feel like I'm taking credit for stuff that I shouldn't, or maybe taking blame. So this started because I told Jordan I thought it would be really cool if there was a printable 19 or 17 frame that like matched our slide. If that makes sense.
For sure.
I gave up. I don't know how many Glocks. I don't know what the pattern was that I just printed out, but every time a new stipple, a new this, a new that, a new weird thing hanging off the front, I slice it and start printing it. Yeah, I said those words to him, and I don't think it was more than 24 hours later that kind of the concept for this was spawned. He was like, it should be a tournament, and we should, have whoever wants to, right? We could probably get 16 people. Do you think 16 people would? I was like, I don't know. And the next thing I knew, it was on Twitter, who wants in, and then all of a sudden there were so many that he had to run a poll to kind of wean it down to just enough to fill the rest of the bracket up. So yeah, I think that's where it started. And then as it, right, in that kind of conceptual, what I want to call that primordial ooze, was, what are the other things that are coming out of this, right? So at first it was super selfish. I'm too dumb or too lazy to learn how to put my own patterns on the side of a frame. That was the concept, right? But once it started becoming, maybe this is going to be real in that 24 hours, was, this is also going to be at least 16 more frames that are out there. that people can print that'll maybe catch somebody else's eye, man. I think I've said all those words. It's starting to sound to me like I'm making political speeches. But you don't know. We don't know how many people are out there, probably tons, right? I don't have, Enders or Prusas or whoever else's sales figures, but there's tons of people that don't have a printer yet. And maybe somebody sees something out of this contest and they either decide to print another gun, right? Great for us, right? Every person that prints another gun, I think, is fantastic. Or somebody decides to buy that first printer. Somebody finally says, right, even if it's just seeing my stupid face make mistakes and babble about shit on the screen, maybe they're like, that guy's pretty dumb. I probably can do that. And they finally click the buttons and they have a, Ender 3 or whatever at their doorstep tomorrow. Get more people, just more people, man. I think there's a lot of momentum in this right now.
So in terms of logistics of the competition, how difficult or eye-opening has it been through the first week? And do you see it kind of smoothing out as we progress?
It's going to be easier next week, right? We've got a couple weeks left of this, but there's less people, right? Less people, so it should be easier. Most of the logistics, I guess, at least from my perspective, are what I expected as far as collecting people's models, trying to go out and find them. You guys did a ton of what I would call logistics, right? Kind of organizing this broadcast schedule so that I didn't have to think about that. Thank you again, by the way, for kind of putting that together. It would have been a real disaster if I did it. I'm not going to lie. It would have taken a month to put it all together. But I think I didn't expect sports before, and I didn't expect so many personalities clashing, right, or starting to compete to kind of, I guess, give way to, I don't even call it controversy. I don't read most of the comments and stuff, but you even like so much clarification to be necessary, I guess. And I think it's a good thing, to be honest. Like, I can say, man, it was frustrating to have to answer 12,000 emails and 97 DMs and this and that and the other thing, but I think it shows how much creativity there is. Not that we don't know that there already is, but so many people that when you make this box to fit in, they want to know where the edges of that are. If that makes sense, they want to know how far can I go without crossing a line. I think it speaks a lot for freedom, man. And I kind of expected that. I said, man, more than 16 people volunteered and said that I'll compete in something where there's going to be rules. Kind of blew me away. I figured we just get the digital middle finger from everyone. Like, no, we don't need no rules because this place ain't about rules. But no, I'm really happy that they all, that many people wanted to be involved in this. Overall, it's been positive. And I've taught myself not to read the comments during live streams. So that helps.
So with that, you had this, the 16 plus people or whatever. So how did that selection go about, for the people that don't know?
Well, I think the first, I forget how many. I think there were 3 spots left that weren't gone before I knew it. Jordan, the JSD Supply account, twittered something, and there were 13 people instantly that wanted in, that were either in, that were immediately in his message, like, absolutely, I want to get into it. And then, if I recall correctly, there was a Twitter poll with the last handful. I think it was 6 or 7 that had to be broken up into 2 Twitter polls. And whoever got the highest percentage of, that's the guy that should be in it, is who got those last spot or those last couple spots.
Yeah, for sure. And so with that, then, I don't know if that's something maybe you do different next time or not, but so I know we're probably going to ask you this again later when after the whole thing's all done. But right now, if you could do something different for this competition, what would you do differently? Or what are the big things you think that we definitely should do the same or change or what have you?
2, I think, most important things I would do differently, right? That would, and maybe some of it's coming from like the personal stress, right? Or trying to get everything in a certain time frame. I would have, prepared better, I guess. I would have organized all of the rules, right? Now I have an idea of what direction it's going to go. Our goal will be different for the next one, obviously. But lay those rules out before anybody volunteers. That makes sense?
Yeah, for sure.
But we just kind of said, hey, we think we're going to have a design contest with 16 people in it, and nobody knew anything. That makes sense. I'd rather Now, at the same time, I think we're all grown-ups, and that's your stupid fault for being like, yeah, I'll get in that cattle car without knowing what's inside of there, right? And then like, oh, here's the box. So I'd like to, right, here's what we're going to do, right? Here's the rules. We'll be able to organize that a lot better. And I think I'll stretch it out a little more. I think I commented on somebody's Instagram post about the results. Somebody that said there should have been more time for this or that or the other thing. I was like, you know what, that's what I would like to do, because I don't have all these models printed, right? What I would like to have done is have a submission deadline and probably at least 2 weeks, right? So I can run all the models, I can actually produce them, right? If I'm going to make sure that they all qualify, because some of the rules and does this fit or not fit, we've been doing after, the voting already started, because we had deadline and the next day we started broadcasting and voting. So
for sure.
Or I need a whole team doing it. Maybe I need half a dozen guys printing stuff out and putting stuff together and checking it for me. No, that's about all. I would set the rules ahead of time before. But again, this went from, hey, I think it'd be cool if we did this, to we already had participants, like a day after we decided we might want to do it.
All right.
Since or not, yeah. And I would give myself more time. Yeah, I'd have, here's the deadline and here's a month. And then that would also let folks make additions, I guess, right? I'd like to have a deadline and then be able to review them. And then it's, instead of finding out, 3 days in that this or that isn't going to fit inside the box, isn't going to meet the qualifications, we can grind all that out, right? Maybe we have an initial submission deadline, and then, okay, by this date, you'll receive a reply if something didn't meet, right? If something isn't going to be within those rules or whatever. Yeah, I think
for sure.
And do you think the voting is the right way to judge? I think it's the right way to get. I think it's the right way to get everybody engaged. But at the same time, every time we do one, and I catch just some of the comments flying by, I'm like, you know what? We should just have like a celebrity judges panel. We should do it more like The Voice or something. Just have like,
I think,
3 random people or 3 celebrity people get on a podcast and like, I don't love this one, and just thumbs up or thumbs down it, and just maybe not.
Yeah, I think that's probably the most difficult part. I really do. I think that's probably because no matter how you do it, there's someone's going to complain about it for sure. And I think that
that's why you do it how you want.
Fine. Yeah, I think, but you do it however you want. It's your competition, right? Fuck 'em.
I do what I want. At the end of the day, I do. I get a lot of
how many free kits did you give out?
Only 16 so far. I think 16. Yeah.
This is definitely Burger King. Have it your way, Bob.
I forget about that. I guess I don't think about money enough. But yeah, man. I mean, I guess we did lay out a lot. You're right. Like, who else put in on this? Yeah,
right.
I'm driving the car. No, I'm just kidding, man. I want this to be the best it can be. No bullshit. And the few guys I've talked to offline, you know what I mean? Some of the hosts that I've talked to or before or after the shows, I'm like, man, thank you so much for doing this. At the end of the day, right, there's things that everybody's getting out of it. But at the end of the day, I think this is doing what we need, amplifying the signal again, back to whether it's somebody buying their first printer, somebody printing a second gun, somebody doing whatever. I think it's, that's all. I think it's doing what it needs to do, I guess.
Right.
And my sacrifice is worth it, even if I end up having a heart attack for this. It's worth it.
Let's see some slides.
All right, let's do it. So first day was Tuesday, is that right? Tuesday night?
Correct.
Yeah.
And who hosted Tuesday night?
That would be
Sabar.
Sabar, right?
And Bob.
Sabar Prince 2A.
All right. So then this would be IPS's, right?
Yep.
iPrint shits. And he was up against Orion Defense, correct?
That's right.
Yep.
Right on. So neither of them are coming on tonight, I don't believe.
That is correct. That is correct. So our first person up is Kron, who's in the next matchup.
All right. So on this matchup, I believe IPS was the winner, correct?
That's right.
All right.
So, Bob, what were your thoughts first stream getting on with Sabar? The images come up. Were you prepared, underprepared, excited, nervous?
Yeah, I think he had the pictures ready. right? That's the kind of stuff that I'm not a great on-screen personality. That kind of stuff makes me nervous being prepared, I guess. Or I'd rather not be on the camera and get to the second one was worse, but I guess we'll talk about that in a minute. As far as getting the pictures up there, no, but Dee did a hell of a job. That was a great intro for me, I guess. I think the rest of my week having to appear in all these places and say all the things would have been a lot worse if it wasn't for Sabar, man. He just felt so comfortable and so natural, almost like hanging out with you guys, except, he's prettier.
That checks out. He's a good dude, man. He's a good dude. Real good
And
dude.
he is beautiful. 100%.
He is. Yeah. Cape, I don't know. His hair's pretty good.
Sabar's coming in hot. I feel like Sabar's coming in from nowhere with the hair, man.
Right.
I would chime in about the hair, but there's ongoing crime, so I have to mute myself.
He moved out of the hood to move into the hood, man. Puerto Rico's rough these days. All right, so IPS, Orion Defense, and IPS wins, and let's move along to the next bracket. Should we? Shall we?
We shall.
I'm gonna add Kron.
Add Kron. Kron, welcome.
Hey, what's up?
The underdog from the first round.
Always.
So it was matchup was Kron and Digital Nimbus, I believe.
Yep.
Krons, Nimbuses, and Kron, you won.
Yeah, that happened. I'm still somewhat surprised.
Well, congratulations on your round one win.
Yeah.
So
And go for it, Danny.
So when we were in the green room, we brought you in the green room, and I had heard rumors about this, but once I saw the screenshots and knew it was true, you manually put on every single one of those scales, correct?
Yeah. So I'm sure that smarter people than I'm sure you probably could have done this in much less time than it took me. But I actually did this by hand, manually moving all of those around so that they would fit and look somewhat decent.
Yeah. So to anybody
Holy
watching
cow.
who hasn't been in Fusion 360, you did this in Fusion, right, Kron?
Yeah. Fusion 360. I've been working a lot with Nimbus and Zip, and they both use Fusion. So I was like, I'll learn Fusion.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I love Fusion. It's my go-to. But if you guys have ever played in Fusion before, like there are some things, if you make a single mistake, like your model detonates and your computer crashes and like it's the end of the world. So to have done this manually is terribly impressive.
Yeah, it definitely crashed more than a couple of times, but I'm glad that people like it. That makes it worth the time and energy.
Absolutely.
So we have a list of questions we want to we're going to ask everyone we bring on, I think.
Okay. Shoot.
So I'll do the first one, I think, and then we'll let whoever. So first thing, let's talk about what do you like best about your competitor's frame? His design he submitted.
Well, I like the ergos of it. When he first, because I actually saw it a few days ahead of time. And when I first saw it, I was like, oh man, that's just gonna win because the palm swell, he's got the finger grip, the I don't even what would we call that? The little bump up there for the middle finger. But the palm swell just looks good. Like I remember seeing that on a couple of other designs and thinking that would be really cool to do. But I'm not that good. So I thought for sure that was going to be the sort of defining feature was the ergos on the grip.
So
Go ahead. Or don't.
ongoing crime. Sorry.
Ongoing crime.
Every time that happens and nobody gets hauled off screen in cuffs, I'm impressed.
I love it.
So ergonomics wise, do you think that are we calling these dragon scales?
I think that's what everybody's calling them. That was kind of the idea behind it. Yeah.
How do they feel?
It's actually remarkably comfortable.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people were like, oh, that looks sharp or it would be rough, but it actually has a really good kind of stippled feel to it.
Awesome. So do you plan on making any, so I believe Bob, and correct me if I'm wrong, devs are allowed to make changes for the next batch or the next bracket. Is that correct, Bob?
Yeah, if they wanna, as long as there's new pictures. I'm gonna spend Monday going through pictures, I guess.
I've already threatened Bob with some nude pictures.
Nude pictures,
on more than one occasion. I am the reason Bob's gonna have a heart attack. I went off a little bit too hard in the comments yesterday.
Dude, but I couldn't stop, and I think it was just you. Like at one point, there was only one person that said anything about hurricane-related stuff, right? And hope everyone's whole. I know there was some loss of life over Hurricane Ian, but there's only one person that I knew of, so I was literally like looking up where people were at, trying to figure out who I needed to reach out to see if they were having like hurricane-related power problems and stuff, dude. I really did feel terrible. Like when I realized where you were, it was like he might be getting banged out by some Ian, and I finally reached out to him like. Well, now I'm 2 days late. Cron's under fucking water if I'm just reaching out to him now.
I was like finishing this on the back table, hooked up to like solar panels and shit. But it was good. We got it done, so that's all that matters. Got it in on time. So
they can make changes, and there's no hurricanes scheduled for the next 72 hours. So
now that you're safe and dry, and you don't have to give up your secret sauce, do you plan on making changes?
There's a few tweaks that are going to happen, just stuff that I wanted to clean up before I submitted it, but I just ran out of time. Nothing dramatic. I know a few people are planning some really dramatic round 2 stuff. I don't think I'm going to have anything terribly dramatic. I think we only have till Monday, right? So
yeah, and drama is going to upset me. Why'd you have to say that? Now I'm not going to be able to sleep. Tomorrow's like my day off, kinda. I'm going to be like, nope, there's going to be crazy shit, and people are going to be mad again.
No, it's all good.
No, it's fine. No, don't take responsibility for those animals. No, you do you.
But yeah, no, nothing too dramatic as far as changes.
I'm glad I ripped all these down. Well, I guess everybody will probably just be adding more files, man. But I'm really excited. I guess I should have invested in more printers before now instead of just 2.
Well, I mean, we're going to keep the other files up, right? I mean, that's the whole idea, was that we would just add to it. So
I'm really excited to get my hands on that thing, man. I don't think it looks sharp at all. I would be surprised if anyone said, or maybe I've just handled enough stuff that I can tell the way those overlay. Yeah, I can't tell exactly how it's going to grip, but when I look at it, I'm not like, oh, that might hurt my baby skin.
Yeah, it was painful, but they're all contoured around the grip so that you don't have edges, and the actual point at the bottom is contoured inward a little bit at the very end, so you don't actually have anything sharp that would get you while you're shooting, because that was important to me.
I think what Bob was saying was the people saying that are got bitch ass baby hands. So
this is not for small-handed people. I will say that this is not for fairy-handed people. It definitely added some girth to it, which feels good to me. It feels more like my 30S. Probably not that thick, but it's somewhere between a 30S and a G19, like a standard G19 as far as grip profile.
Cron, how do you feel about going up against KM3D in the next round?
I haven't thought about it much, honestly, because I just haven't. I didn't think I would need to think about it. I went into this just assuming I'd be out round 1. So I just, I'm still here. I'm happy to be here.
Rails down or rails up, gang?
You can't print this rails down. I mean, rails up. You can't print this rails up. It will not work. Actually, so this was part of the consideration, is this can only be printed rails down, and it can only be manufactured by a 3D printer. You cannot make this any other way. This can't be injection molded. This can't be CNC. The only way to produce this frame is through a 3D printer, because each one of those scales actually has gap underneath it and beside them. So you have to use additive manufacturing.
Are you
guys heard it?
Well, Cron, thanks for coming on and telling us about your frame and how you did. Would you compete again in the next one if you're not blacklisted?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. I mean, yes, I would. There's been some frustrations along the way, but yeah, I think it ultimately the community wins. So
the community wins. The audiences loved it.
Yeah, the audiences definitely seem to be appreciating it. So.
Oh yeah.
All right. Well, Cron, appreciate you coming on.
Yeah.
And see ya.
Moving on to the next set of slides here, we have Mr. Snow and the Nuggie holder.
And Mr. Snow's not coming on, but I see him in the chat, so he can talk shit about himself in the chat.
Yeah. What do you have to say, Mr. Snow, in the chat?
Nothing. That's what I thought.
Make sure it's a super chat though if you want to say something. Just kidding.
And his competitor.
Welcome to the stream, by the way,
Mr.
Trophy Trout.
Mr. Trophy Trout.
Sorry if you can hear that printer in the background. This mic.
Oh, it's fine. We've been listening to Danny's printer all night. Snow printed that out earlier too, by the way. Oh, so let's start it off. Let's go back to this one. I used the wrong picture. That's what it was, right?
You know, I think that's part of it, honestly. Like from my point of view, I think the picture he had to retake a picture that day. I do think he had an original picture that was better than this. To be honest, I'm kind of on board with Mr. Snow there.
That you should have lost and you should have won.
I'm surprised I won. I thought he was going to beat me. But I just mean like overall.
What we're saying, like there's a trend here, right? So these guys in gun cads all have self-esteem issues, and we need to work on that.
Maybe
you won.
Maybe.
You won, King. All right.
First round, won the first round. Let's not inflate it too much. You still got to win again.
Yeah.
We got a ways to go. Hey, I know that I ruined some people's brackets, and that itself makes me happy, right?
That's right.
All right. So let's talk about first. What do you like best about your competitor's frame? Like, what makes it the winner for you?
So I think there's a couple things actually. So number one, before me and Snow knew we were matched up, we actually like traded nudes per se. We were like, I'll show you mine if you show me yours. And then later that day, we found out we were matched up, and we're like, oh, we probably shouldn't have done that. But like, they're so different, it's not going to matter if I wanted to copy him or he wanted to copy me. At this point, it'd be like obvious, you know. And so we're like, well, yeah, that's fair. But like when I first saw his picture, I just like I love the meme aspect, and it really is clean even without the meme. But like when I first saw it, I was like, oh man. I was like, who doesn't love chicken nuggets? Like,
that's true.
It is a good idea. I'm still shocked, like I said. So I don't know how much else I have to say.
Well, let's look at this beautiful thing then that won.
So take us through your dev process, right? Your kind of thought process behind your frame and the look you were kind of going for, and if you're satisfied with how it came out.
So I kind of borrowed from a couple different things. I kind of borrowed from the strike. You can kind of tell some of the shape. I'm using my mouse right now as a pointer, even though I know you guys can't see it. But I'm trying to like circle things, and I'm like, oh yeah, you guys can't see shit. But kind of the trigger guard kind of looks like a strike. And then I just want to do something different. Like you can see there's 3 different stipples on there. 2 of them are something you probably wouldn't traditionally see. And so that's kind of where I was like, you know, I'm going to try to do something that's maybe a little different. It is pretty comfortable. A lot of people have given me shit for the chamfers on the front instead of a fillet or a fillet. I think it's a fillet, but
it's fillet for you for sure.
It's a fillet, but it's more comfortable than you think. A couple other things, like I cut out the bottom, kind of because it helps you get your mag out, but mostly just because it looks cool. Let's be honest. It wasn't cut out at the beginning. And then one of the things that I've seen on a lot of things is a mag well. And I didn't put a mag well on mine because I felt like on a 19, it's just too tight. If I have a frame right here, it's not built out. But like you can see my pinky's like right on the bottom of where my mag lines up. So there was a mag well on it at one point, and I kind of shot it down because I felt like it was too small, but that's about it. I don't know.
I really like the battle worn on it. It really makes it.
That was a little bit of a last minute decision. I was actually I'll tell you what I was gonna do. I was gonna hydro dip the slide. And I bought some hydro dipping. I'd never done it before. I bought a hydro dip film on Amazon. Well, you have to buy a activator. And of course, I like me being me, I didn't go find that out beforehand. And so I go and I'm like, I had like an XD slide. I'm like, I'm going to try to hydro dip this one first to see if I can even do it. And found out I needed the activator. So you guys got in the garage paint, but it is what it is.
I think it looks good, man.
Anybody can do it at home, right? That's what we were going for.
Yeah, you know what it does is it really helps highlight, right, those things we were trying when we're doing the voting shows. When we're trying to like zoom in and look at different textures and stuff. It really like doesn't make that a question anymore, right? You can kind of see those 3 different stipple patterns used on there.
I do have one thing I got to point out because on my stream I was a little upset that you guys talked about this, but so you can see some layer lines, right? But the reason why is because I like highlighted them where other people are like photoshopping their pictures not to have layer lines. I'm like, you're really going to do me like that? I was like, I have like 3 lines there.
Shots fired. What?
Well,
hey, it wasn't a can you print this competition, right? It was a dev competition. They weren't judging you on how well you print it, right? That there's people that print well and there's people that dev well, right?
Yeah, I was laughing a little bit when Rich and Rich were talking about it. I was like, come on, guys. I was like, you're being rough on me here. And if you guys know me, I print with like the crappiest printers. I think I have a plethora of them, but they're all clones. Like nothing. I need to get a serious printer. I'm sick of. I always have at least 2 printers down out of 5.
So do you plan on making any changes or doing a reprint, maybe another photo shoot?
Maybe. I have some prints. I've actually changed a little bit. I was gonna do something a little different, and I was supposed to work on it tonight, and I haven't. So we'll see if it actually happens or not. But I might have something in there. It might go for a different aesthetic. I like the battle worn. But as the round goes on, I think it's going to turn to favor like clean Glock builds, just because that's end of the day. What's popular? What's the showstopper?
Yeah.
What do people want? They just want a nice, clean, crisp looking build. And
so I
feel
guess
like we've seen that too,
for sure. And I guess that begs the question of now that round 1 is done, there's a bit of strategy involved that you can kind of see what people are voting for, which frames are kind of getting more votes than others. So I'm interested to see how that kind of plays into it as well.
Yeah, I think it plays a role, and maybe I just think that because some of the clean builds are from some of the. I mean, if I were to pick top 3 going into this before I even saw frames, I would say KM3D, Chairman, and Anon, and all 3 of their frames are just nice, clean builds. So maybe that's part of it, as I just see these 3 guys that are really good at their craft and their builds are clean. And so I'm like, maybe that's what I want to do, but I don't know. I do like the battle worn, and I feel like people did like it, but I feel like I kind of also feel like it hides some stuff in my build in a sense, where if it was just a clean print, like people might see it as something more than it just is from this picture. So we'll see what I do. I don't know for sure.
Trout, who do you think your hardest competitor will be?
Let's just go out there. My hardest competitor is going to be it's going to be Anon and Narcist.
So you're going all the way. You're going all the way.
It's going to be in the final against him, and he's going to beat me. That's what I have. That's what I have in my bracket. I'm going to get another free pick. No, we'll see. I mean, this next matchup, I'll be really interested to see because, barring the actual like voting aspects and stuff, people are always going to have bias towards friends and whatever else, and I feel like me and IPS kind of share some of the same friend groups in a sense, so it'll be interesting to see how that affects it. If I'm being honest, I think what he came up was great. I think it'll be a tough battle for either one of us. I wasn't expecting to make it past the first round, so at this point, I'm just, I'm like, I'm gonna go all the way, I guess.
Hell yeah.
So we'll
That's
see.
the mindset.
See, we're already working on that self-esteem. We went from I'm not even going to win the first round, and now I'm winning it all.
Well, that's how you got to be, Justin. You got to be quick on your feet, one way or the other.
All right. Well, I think appreciate you coming on,
Yeah.
and we're gonna
Thanks for having me.
send you on your way.
Peace.
The crime.
It just continually alternates between being on and off. And I went outside literally to check. And it's not even a crime, actually. It's literally just someone's car every like 30 seconds goes off.
Their cars underneath their mattress, and they're in there banging it out. Just
Holy crap! I was just about to say that before you. So somebody's knocking boots, just rolling around, banging them keys.
Keys are on the bed. Yeah. Oh man. Rob, we don't know about the brackets yet. We haven't looked at them yet. We're gonna do that this week probably.
Yeah, we should
All
probably
right.
do that so we're not so far behind.
Right. So next up was
Chairman Juan.
Hang on. So this was. Hang on. Let's go back real quick.
Oh man.
So Sabar, and then they were on Crump. Is that right?
And Rich. Crump and Flying Rich. Yep.
And then this is Crump and Flying Rich as well,
Correct.
which was Chairman Juan.
Yep.
And our next guest, I believe, KM3D.
And there he is.
How's it going?
Welcome to the stream.
Yeah, welcome
Thank
on.
Appreciate it.
So, congratulations on your first round win
Thank you.
against Chairman Juan. I can tell you you've destroyed a lot of people's brackets from looking at all the brackets. So I appreciate it. Thank you.
Not my bracket.
Not
That's
my
what I'm
bracket
here
either. Not my bracket either. I'm just saying. But yeah, so let's start it off. Just like we've been asking everybody else. What do you like best about your opponent's frame?
Bit of a history there. Chairman Juan's a pretty good friend of ours here, and he took a style of frame that's been coming out of real Glocks out of our shop with KAK Tactical, working on them for years, and kind of brought that to 3D community. So I love his frames. I absolutely love his style. It's basically what I love best is the amount of curves he has, the stippling patterns, everything that makes a Chairman Juan frame a Chairman Juan frame. It's unique, stands out. It doesn't look like something 3D printed. And that's it. I mean, it's basically the whole of it. Like, I love his frames. They're good.
Right on.
Amen.
Sorry, I can't give you like a specific I like his rail, but not.
No, man. No.
That's.
Good.
Hey, it's
I
Chairman
think-
Juan. He's known for his Glock frames, right? I mean,
I
that's
think most will agree. Yeah.
yeah. No disagreement there.
So here we have up your frame, and it is incredibly unique, all the way up to the faux hammer you have on the back. What was your decision on that guy back there?
Chairman Juan was my decision on that guy back there.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't have a self-esteem issue. I'm overconfident. I'm arrogant. But Chairman is extremely popular, and I'm new to this space. And at the last minute, that hammer is something I've had kicking around forever. I was like, man, I need an edge. I need something to get people on Twitter, to get people that are watching this to be like, shit, that's funny. Like, I was undecided, and I'm just going to go for that. And we threw the hammer on there, and that was it. I mean, honestly, from comments, I'm pretty sure that hammer took the couple. Our vote was right here. And there was a couple people I saw like, it was the hammer, bro. And I'm like, I think the hammer took those like 4 people over the edge. So I plan to bring something special every round in a similar vein. Just, it's fun, man. That's the fun part of it for me, is just some trolly shit, playing within the rules as much as I can that gives an edge.
Yeah, did you see me make the dog heard a funny noise outside face when well, I don't watch all the comments, but several people were like, "Is that a hammer? What's up with the hammer?" And I had to like make sure because I had already looked at it before, right? I already sliced the file, but I still kind of like looked at it funny, like, no, I swear, I sliced the file, I got it ready, but there was no hammer stick. I don't know why it's there. Yeah.
Converted to hammer fire.
You got me good, bro. Got me good. I was not expecting that.
Yeah, it's because you're too busy looking at the rest of the gorgeous frame that this man's created. Like,
Thank you.
jeez.
Yeah, so not to play any favoritism, but I think this frame is one of the top contenders for matching the Patmos slide, certainly.
I appreciate
Agreed.
that. I have probably a slightly different process than most people in this space. I come from a different realm. And the first thing I do is I didn't model a frame first. I modeled the Patmos slide. I build the opposite. So I build the entire thing as an assembly in CAD. And, I spent a couple of days making sure I had a Patmos slide exact, without having the actual file so that I could go through and make a frame that, complemented it. I took it on like a work order, how can I, if JSD was hiring me to build this frame, what would I build them? And that's how I approach the competition.
For sure.
You heard him, Bobby. Wants to be on salary.
I'll work on it. Man.
He sounds expensive to me.
I don't know what I'm supposed to say to that. Look, I'm the best. Right now, I mean, that's not. So like, I got an overconfidence problem. I'm the best. Like, man,
it's gonna cost a lot of money, Bob.
I don't even know what to say. Yeah.
All right. So you clearly have yourself going all the way. Who is going to be your toughest competitor on the other side of the bracket?
IPS.
IPS. So you got IPS taking Trophy Trout next.
I love Trout. I love everybody. I made a lot of friends. I think every competitor became a friend during this process through chats everywhere. Now I don't want to talk trash on anyone, and I hate to even make a prediction because it means I'm saying that somebody I like is gonna not do well. But that said, I think IPS's frame is completely the opposite of mine, and I feel like when people are voting, you got two different things that fit a different realm, and they're probably the strongest two that fit that realm. As far as a normal frame trying to look like the slide, I made it. I made it for a reason. I feel like that's mine. And as far as something like, yeah, that's cool, that's out there, I love that. IPS. It's a cool space cat. It looks awesome. And I feel like that's my threat.
Well, don't feel bad. Just like Rob said, there was always going to be 15 losers from the beginning.
Still, though,
Right.
a lot. It's 15 really nice dudes, or 16 really nice people. All it's not all dudes, but really nice people competing here, and everything's been rad. I mean, we saw guys step out of their comfort zone, do things they never did before, and it was like the round one of the underdogs, and I thought that was the coolest thing. Like, just Trout, Cron just coming up with like a Glock frame. You don't know him for Glock frames, you never seen it, and all of a sudden, boom, they nail something, and yeah, it worked out, and I love it.
Cron, underdog champion of the world right now.
All right. Cape, you still got crime going on?
It just ended in theory. Holding my breath right now. All right. Like, I literally haven't even been looking at the order of the questions because I can't hear shit because this fucking alarm keeps going off. So I have no idea what's going on right now. So I'm just gonna say someone else should ask the next question because even if I can talk right now, I don't know what's going on.
Well, I think you answered all the questions because usually the last question would be what sets yourself apart, but I'm pretty sure you nailed that already, saying that you've catted the one that you think is the closest to the Patmos slide. So, hey, appreciate you coming on, and I think we're going to send you on your way.
Thank
See
you.
ya. All right.
Okay.
So,
Next
up,
we got moderator Gage.
That's right.
And his competition.
Print Bunny.
Slide, please.
Print Bunny. All right.
Yes.
And this was on Out of Battery.
Out of Battery.
Yep, this was on ours. Yep.
I believe, yeah. Last night? 2 nights ago? I can't remember.
Yeah. Welcome to the stream, dude.
Gage, welcome, buddy.
Welcome. All right. Well, you've been listening for a little bit, so I assume you know what's coming.
Yeah.
So talk to me about so you are our first non-winner for your bracket on the stream tonight, correct?
That's correct. Yep.
Appreciate you coming on, even though you didn't win your first round.
Hey man, it's not what it's about. This is a great opportunity for everybody in the community. It was amazing to compete.
Hell yeah, dude. Love to
Amen.
hear it. So let's talk about your competition. What do you like about her frame?
I'm gonna be honest, the minute I saw that frame, I knew I had lost. Our designs were just way too different. I went for artistic and she went for just pure amazing. I haven't seen anything like that before. It's like they took a 1911 and put it on a Glock and then made it perfect for. I can't even put it into words. I love it.
Awesome. Good to hear. Well, let's talk about your frame a little bit then.
All right.
So going back, looking at your frame, I see you do a lot of these very intricate, I wouldn't even call them stipples. It's like artwork patterns on these frames. So talk to us a little bit about the scene, I guess, that's going on yours.
All right. So this picture, it really doesn't give everything that we put into it. This was something that me and my sister-in-law had come up with. Our design that we had, that we started with, was like a dark fey design, and you can kind of see that on the other side of the Glock. But I really feel like this one kind of brought it together. Is the scene of the forest, and most of the designs I do, they're for people who want to paint their Glocks, people who want to build something more. I just lay down the groundwork, and it's up to them to bring it to life.
That's awesome. So with that, is there anything, since you didn't win your first round, is there anything you'd do different if you were competing in the same competition again?
I think I probably would have went for ergonomics. I kind of had the wrong idea going into this competition that it would be kind of an artistic challenge, but it was more, what is the best design? What's the coolest thing that you can put in somebody's hand? And everybody went a completely opposite route that I did. And I really think if I knew what everybody else was going to do first, I probably wouldn't have gone this way.
Right on.
So on that topic, when I saw your frame, I went into the stream not knowing anyone's designs or anything, and so I didn't know it was you. The first question I had was like, how did you paint this? Because out of everyone, I think the amount of effort put into painting on yours, just unbelievable.
Yeah, man, there is a lot of layers going into this. I can't take the credit for it. I will say my sister-in-law did an amazing job painting it. It was her idea to go with it.
Okay.
I helped with the basic supplies, the acrylic, and the overall design of what we're going for. But man, she really brought it to life with her painting skills. Unfortunately, in real life, my hands are kind of garbage. But when you get me behind a screen, I can work pretty well with that.
Okay.
Nice. All right. Well, hey, appreciate you coming on. And again, good luck next time. So
Thank you,
I'm
guys.
sure we'll see you again, and keep making stuff for me to sell to the police at gun buybacks.
Absolutely.
Everybody.
Have fun.
See ya.
Dude.
All right. Next up, we have Middleton Made. This was also on Out of Battery. We have Middleton Made and
Doge-nado.
NATO.
Yes. And these are two. So we've seen some matchups where we look at like opposite sides of the spectrum. I believe that these two were very similar in design concepts, I guess you could say. So I believe we have Middleton. There he is.
Welcome to the
one and
stream,
only.
dude.
Welcome.
Hey there, makers.
How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. It's been a good night.
Hell yeah. So we had talked a little bit, I believe, in Discord, and you were saying that this was your first pistol frame. Is that correct?
Yeah, so I do basically anything else other than handguns. So joining this competition was more of a sure, why the hell not? Like, what's the worst that could happen? And I took a win, not knowing that I would, especially after we started sharing our frames in the secret back room, seeing that he and I did have decently similar frames. I was like, oh shit, man. This is gonna be close. And it was very close. So
Yeah.
Well,
absolutely.
congratulations on your round 1 victory.
Thank you. Very, very appreciative of the community for giving me those 12 extra votes.
Jeez, that is close.
Yeah, it was.
Well, let's start it off. So, you know the drill, I assume. What do you like
gonna-
best about your opponent's frame? That's the first question up. You have to talk nice about your opponent first.
Well, one, he's just a handsome gentleman, but two, he put a poll in the back room of what color he should do, and he chose purple because, and I chose purple. So, one, good color choice. But he actually did something that I was considering doing and didn't do. So, one of the considerations for me is, as my wife says, sausage fingers, or as my friend just told me today, Shrek hands. So my hands are just larger than the average. So fitting, I know I'm not going to pick it up, but the little tail on mine, I had to make a pinky extension in order to make it so I could fit my pinky on a Glock 19. Like, it just doesn't fit. So on mine, I had made the extension. Well, Doge here did the logical thought of just making the grip longer. But this being my first handgun, I'm like, I gotta do this, gotta do this. What else I gotta do? Oh my god! So I'm just like figuring so much out. And he went the logical route of just make the grip longer.
So, this then is what you finally came to about. We're to look at that frame a little bit there on the front where you're just talking about that shorter piece. Is
So
that
his
something
are a
you
little bit
think?
angled, yeah.
So is that something you think he might change?
No. Well, yes, but no. Yes, but no. I'm going to change the geometry a little bit, but I think in order to not be so wild, I'm going to keep the main geometry of it. It'll still have a little bit of a mag funnel, and I'll still have the pinky, but I'm probably going to change the geometry a little bit to accept a wider variety of mags. I don't actually own any OEM mags for 19. I only have 33 OEMs and drum mags, and
reasonable.
Yeah, and one mag pull for a 19. So
standard capacity.
First world
Exactly.
problems, huh? That's all I have is all these giant magazines.
So someone was like, "Oh, OEM mags kind of fit a little too snug." I was like, "Fuck." So there'll be some geometry changes. Also, those of you who have printed it already, thank you. I really appreciate the photos. There was an area right above the pinky area that's a little thin. So people who are not following the README and doing the 16-degree angle, they're getting some thin wall issues and parts that aren't printing right. So a little bit of geometry changes for round 2, and then I think we'll be good to go. Oh yeah, that sus lanyard loop. Yeah,
Just about to ask.
What's the lanyard loop for, guys? Weird. We'll have to just stick around and find out.
Retention, of course.
Yeah, so you can hook your lanyard up to it, so when it falls out of your holster, when you fucking sprint across the battlefield, it stays connected to your body.
Yeah, that was my intended design.
100%.
So a question that I don't think we've asked the other competitors that were on. Some went for RMRs, some did not. What was kind of the thought process behind that?
I have another Patmos 19 slide that was going unused until I came up with a handgun design reason to use it. So I had one tricked out and one not tricked out. I submitted 2 photos and said, "Hey, if we can do Gucci slides, here's my Gucci photo. If not, here's my standard photo." So there's another photo just like this with an RMR, with a gold tin barrel, with a weapon light. I played it safe and submitted 2. So,
Well, FYI, if it had a gold barrel and some, because there were a couple actually. Yeah, I'm not going to get deep into it, but there were a couple that had to go back, and it wasn't me deciding they had to go back. Right? It was based on feedback, and I had to be like, "Yeah, you know what? You're right. We are going to have to draw that line." But yeah. Thank you for sending both, because you'd have got a. Come on, man. You just the upper that was there. You could have put the dot on it, but like the different barrel, because of some other things that happened, would have got a. Oh, come on! I just did this yesterday, Mr. Middleton. Please.
I will say, I got home hung out with my family for a little bit, and then started busting out the hammer and the drill bits. And I got this submitted with 2 minutes to spare. So it was really just hurry up, take the photo, get it in Lightroom, export, and send to Bob. Hurry up. And it was 10:58 or 11:58, whatever it was 58. And I was like, oh, shit, that was close.
Sounds about like our last submissions for our brackets. We got a bracket at 11:59. So,
So Middleton, who do you think your toughest competition will be going forward?
So the two that I was dreading fighting were going to be K3D or KM3D and or KM3, and Chairman, and they ended up getting paired together. So one of them took out one of my other big worries. So thanks to you guys for fighting that out, so I didn't have to. If it becomes to him and I think it's going to come down to just the photography of it, because we both have really strong frames. I think his is probably a better competitor than mine because he has a lot more features into that type of stuff. But I will let you know he's a photographer too, so it's I think either way I'm probably not making it to the end, especially this being my first handgun frame, but I'd like to think that I could at least give it a good fight. So
nice. Good.
Well, thank you for coming on, Middleton, and
I'm always
good
happy to
luck
come.
with the rest of the lineup, man.
Thank you, appreciate it. Thanks for having me on, guys.
Later, buddy.
Yeah. So our next guest is on his way. So we're gonna just talk about Vitch's. How do you say his name?
Vityaz.
Vityaz? Okay.
Yes.
I
believe that's a
been saying
Russian.
Vityaz.
I believe that is a Russian firearm. Is the Vityaz? It's a 9mm subgun.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the 9mm AK. Correct.
Yeah. Yep.
Correct.
Okay.
It's what the AKV's basically after, or the KP9 for the actual Kalashnikov firearm.
So this one was a DQ, correct?
Talk to us, Bob. Give us the deets, the sweet,
You're
juicy
asking
deets.
me. Yeah, I mean, it looked totally fine, right? Actually, this is one that no other competitors picked on, even after all of the photographs kind of got blasted out in that email. Right, here's who's in the competition. Even once everybody had the photos, this one didn't get picked on. But and it's also one of the reasons that I'd like to have. Right, when I was talking about having that larger gap between when the deadline was and when the first voting or judging began. This one I didn't figure out till I was actually pouring through the README, looking at what all you had to do, right? Like, well, it looks weird as hell, but the front half is a Glock, right? I look back here, and it didn't occur to me. I looked at the trigger. I was like, no, it's fine. He just like something's flipped backwards. Just no big deal. Like, I know better than that. But at the time, maybe I'm just running a little too ragged. When I first glanced at it, I'm like, weird mag, but all the parts are there. And okay, he just like shoved a 320 up a Glock's ass and printed it. There's nothing wrong with that. This is good. When I'm going through the README, there was metal removal. I think I said on there to get that magazine, to get it to feed correctly. You have to file not much. It doesn't sound like. I mean, it didn't look at any pictures of it in progress, but you have to file some of the barrel down to get it to feed correctly. And then I poured down to right, and my brain kicked on. It was like, well, wait a minute, that's backwards. How can the trigger bar be reaching? And got down to that part, and I think it was either. It may have been. I'm not staring at the document right now. It may have been printing another trigger bar. Like that you had to pop the trigger off of the metal trigger bar, or you had to pop it and flip it around so that it was facing up that way, something like that. There was a trigger bar modification as well. It was kind of heartbreaking, man. But Vityaz, to his credit, was an absolute champ about it. It's like, no, I get it. I knew it was stretching. I knew I was close, if not over, but I've been working on it with, I forget. I think he said it was a buddy in his idea that he had been working on for a little while. And he had it almost ready and just wanted to, I don't want to say kind of wanted to get it out there, but it's like, no, I knew it might be, but I really wanted to. He was just a champ about it. And I still do want to print one, man, because I've got a special affinity for the 320. So even the 320 part of it isn't really doing anything besides being a place to put your hand. When I look at it, I'm like, Does that make sense? I'm like, oh, I recognize that. It's like when I see the old wagon wheels that I had on an old 79 Chevy truck I had 15 years ago. When I see that wheel on another car, that makes sense. It kind of tugs at my heartstrings. I'm like, I'll automatically like the car that wheel is on because my mind kind of gets nostalgic for it. It's the same way I look at this.
I want to see this. Shoot, slide up into my DMs, bro.
So our guest is here, so I'm going to add him to the stream. Welcome to the stream, Freeman. How are you doing tonight?
A little sore, doing some deer property prep, but happy to be here.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Look, so first things first, the usual question when we bring someone on who won their matchup, what do you like most about your competitor's build?
I mean, what's not liked and what's not to like? I mean, this thing's absolutely wild. I love it. I mean, yeah, just like slamming a SIG grip back there. That was great. The drum mag. I mean, I love seeing all this crazy and wild stuff that's sort of like the 3011, but different. Like just putting stuff together that really wasn't designed to be together. It's just a testament as a community of what we're able to do, and I'm all about that. I'm not saying I'd print one because it's not really my thing, and I'm fuddy and I like my 1911s. But I think this is sick, and it's just a testament to what we're able to achieve when we really put our resources together.
Yeah, meme gun confirmed. It's an instant classic.
Oh yeah.
So do you plan on making any changes to your build prior to round 2?
Well, I mean, not really to the ergos so much. I already turned this into a full release on my regular Odyssey, and I wrapped this, and I think a total of either 11 or 12 textures. It's already up on my Odyssey, and people can download it all on the usual stuff I put out on my other pistol frames. So I mean, I might print a different texture and a different color or something like that. But I will say what I was going for on this one. For this one with the color, I think it's Overture Jeans Red, but I was really going to make this thing look like a dodgeball, especially with that stipple and the color.
You nailed that.
It's so you can throw it at when you run out of ammo. You throw it at someone, right? That's what it is.
Oh yeah, I mean, usually I would do that on a high point, but I mean, for a Glock, it's not as heavy, but still effective.
So Freeman, it's safe to say that you were happy with the first round voting, the way the voting took place.
I mean, I don't know. I'd say it was bittersweet. A win by disqualification, is a little bit, bitter. I mean, I would have much rather, heard what people actually, thought about it and, won the old fashioned way. But, winning's winning. I'm not complaining too much. I'm still happy to, participate and go on to the next round. But, just a little bit bittersweet because I really wanted to see what other people thought of, the other, SIG Glock thing, is awesome as that is.
Who do you think your toughest competition going forward will be?
Honestly, I don't know. I thought it was going to be Chairman at first, and it messed up my whole bracket. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like the K3D one, that really meshed up with the slide well. Probably that one, if I had to take a guess, just because, it matches that slide so well. It might not match anything else, but it matches that one really well, which was one of our tenets of this one.
For sure. Well, Freeman, appreciate you coming on. And again, congratulations on your first round win. And we'll see how it goes for the rest of the tournament.
Yeah, we'll see. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, buddy.
Thanks. See ya.
So this time, the next guest not being here is 100% my being slow. Last time it was because I didn't send Freeman the link. This time it's because I just forgot that I was the one sending all the links, but he's here. So welcome to the stream, Anon.
There he is.
Hell yeah.
Welcome.
Can't hear anything.
Perfect. Great.
Classic.
So, since you can't hear anything, we're just going to talk trash about your build the whole time. and then when you can start hearing stuff, then maybe you'll figure it out or
With
not.
some technical difficulties.
Hey, we got a banner for that. There you go. All right, stand by for technical difficulties. So if you guys didn't know, this was last night with Bob, I believe, right? You had you had the DQ, and then you had.
So this is Phil Fisher.
Phil Fisher, yep, and then Anons.
Yep, exactly right. And I'm glad I had the DQ, and I'm glad I had this one too, because there were some people that felt that extended beaver tail, I guess we have to call it, because I said it was not a PDW. There were some. There wasn't a lot, but the few that were concerned that this might be over the line were pretty steadfastly concerned.
Good deal. Okay.
Can you hear us?
Yes.
Yeah, that's for big sausage fingers right there. That beaver tail is for the biggest sausage hand.
Anna, have you been paying attention to how this is going?
Yes, so far.
Okay. Well,
last couple seconds, no.
All right, cool. Well, congratulations on your round 1 victory, I believe, right?
Yep. Thank you.
And then, so we'll start it off by, tell us what you like best about your competitor's frame.
I mean, I like the concept of it. I really do. Being completely honest, I like the fact that I could probably hand this thing to my 4-year-old son and teach him how to shoot a Glock 19 if shit went bad. Because the sucks about his height.
Beaver tail.
The beaver tail. That's a beaver tail. Oh, you're right. He wasn't here for the last 4 seconds. That's a beaver tail, sir.
Beaver tail. Okay, got you. Got you. But no, I mean, I like the design. I really do. Phil Fisher, I've seen a bunch of his stuff before. He's got it down pat. So
nice.
So give us a little talk about yours and what you were going for.
I kind of just went out on a wing with it. I had some old projects, and I kind of took some inspiration from them, but I catted a whole slide for this thing, so it was a long road. Like, I started the day that he sent out the email saying that we were all in, and was watching John Crump like every day trying to figure out something about it. And then he said something about matching the slide, so that's what I started making, the slide, as soon as we got it.
Nice.
So you also catted up the entire slide first?
Yes. And you can't really see it in the picture, but my serrations in the back were a bit off on that picture. They're correct now. But
I couldn't tell.
Your serrations are the closest from all the other models.
Yeah,
on the back, they were like a millimeter off. So I went through and it's redone. I just hadn't had time to reprint it or anything. But yeah.
Telling on himself, but you can't even tell.
Yeah.
So I guess that kind of leads into the next question of changes for your next model. Are you going to kind of stick with your base model and just make small updates? You going to change the color at all? Did you paint that slide?
Yeah, I painted that slide. And being honest, I'm probably going to stick with the same picture all the way through. I mean, I put a lot into it, and the printer's kind of acting funny at the moment. It didn't want to give me shit afterwards. I kept trying and nothing. So I think I'm going to rock with what I got now. I mean, unless I need to change the photo, for any reasons or anything like that.
We already said it was a design competition, right? Not a print competition.
Right.
So is that a rattle can paint job or whiteout?
Rattle can.
Okay, just making sure.
That was done like in about 20 minutes in the front yard. The black actually messed up a bit, as you can see. I mean, if you zoom in back there on the, I guess where your pinky would be, it's a bit off. So
it bled a little bit there. We're not good at zooming in on stuff here. We don't do that on this one.
Can't zoom
well, I'm not
in
good
on
at painting,
slides.
so I mean, don't judge me on my paint job. But
yeah, if you don't want it zoomed in, send it to us, because we're not smart enough for that crap. So
hey, we were doing lots of zoom in the other night.
Did we zoom in the other night?
Oh
Sorry,
yeah,
I was sleeping. I was sleeping the other night.
Slept through the whole contest, Justin.
Yeah, I fucking did everything, but no, Wednesday I was at work, so I was voting on Wednesday.
All right, and so you've seen the competition. Is there anybody that you're just like, man, it's gonna be tough? Who's your top dog?
Probably KM3D. He's got a solid frame, It looks great. And trophy trout too, you know, I mean, he's definitely going to be the hardest bracket on the other side. And they're the shit. I can't even talk, guys. Y'all got me way too late. I'm already drunk. So they're going to be the toughest competitors though for me, because we all kind of, think alike too. We all try to match the slide. And that's not my typical build either. I like slim lines. My hands are fairly small, you know, so.
No sausage fingers here.
No, yeah, they're fine.
I too
Them
prefer the
Burger King
slim
hands.
lines.
Yeah, Bits also got girly small hands.
No, they're
Yeah.
not small, but I like the slim line.
They're
I
pretty
like
rough, but
non-slim
they're
lines.
still
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
all right,
what do you think set your build apart from the competition the most?
Maybe painting the slide. I don't think I've seen anybody else paint the slide.
Yeah, that's where
I don't
Snow went
think.
wrong. I know that's where Snow went wrong. You know, he was going for white, and he forgot the slide, and you got the slide, and here you are.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he didn't fully commit. You might be right. He didn't fully
I'm
commit to
honestly
that
not
white
sure.
life.
I think the rules said we could paint the slide, right?
Yeah,
They
absolutely.
did? Okay, cool. Good deal. Okay.
I also appreciated. I'll jump in for a second. I appreciated the amount of controversy there was. The few comments, the comments I got told about afterwards about you and your sites. I enjoyed that. I think there was some with red dots, but I don't think anybody else like changed the sites up or made the sites. Those are printed sites, right? If I understand.
Chairman did. Chairman changed his sites.
Did it?
Yeah. Yes. I went through and looked.
Oh, got called out and had to go make sure. Was I the only one?
I could not believe it when this shit kicked up. Like, some these aren't the regular sites. Where damn sites come from? I'm like, we serious? It's Friday night, boys. So we really this is late in the game to be hollering about sites. But I appreciate you bringing that. That was a good time.
And for those wondering, I'll get them out soon. I haven't really been on the computer much, but they're ready to go. So the wait's over.
Okay.
Awesome.
Well, thank you for coming on. We appreciate you taking the time to stop in.
For sure. Appreciate y'all having me.
For sure. Have a good night, man.
See you around, buddy.
So that
here we
is
are.
it for contestants tonight. I think we actually made it through all the matchups. So if you'll take a look at this, this is the bracket as it currently stands right now. So we had on Trout, who won his matchup, Moderator Gage, who did not, Freeman, who did, Kron, who did, KM3D, who did, Middleton, who did, and Anon, who did. So special shout out to Gage for showing up, despite the vast majority of people who actually made it out tonight being people who won their brackets. So
yeah,
Gage slipping in there showing it wasn't about being salty.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's
right.
Hell yeah. Unlike Mr. Snow, who ruined my bracket. God damn it. Trout, I love you, man. Your shit looks really good. If I would have seen it and his beforehand, I might have voted for you, but I just filled my bracket up as soon as I saw KM3D stuff.
So, Bob, how are you feeling? What is your prediction for round two?
Well,
is
do you
that
feel better
too
now?
spicy of a question to ask?
I am not making a prediction, man. No,
Bob's had
fair
enough. Don't
I've
put
already
that
talked
on him.
more than I wanted to, right? Like all the shows I was on, right, where there was voting going on. I was like, look, I don't want to talk. I started with I don't want to talk. I don't even know why I'm there, but I'll come on, and I don't want to talk because I don't want anyone to say that I was leaning or pushing one way. And then I'm doing all kinds of talking and shit. Anyway, man, I think they're all gorgeous. I did. You guys are talking about Moderator Gage from it. Not only did he show up, but like he said, maybe I would have done something more like what everybody else does, but also kind of stood by. Like that's his thing, right? I haven't seen all of his work, but a lot of his work I see is like real art. It's like, so I put forth my real art. I think that's a bold move. Stand up like this is what I do, and to put it, you know what I mean? Like not just to show up, but to say maybe I would have done something more specific to this competition, but I did what I did, and that's what I like to do. I really appreciate him being here.
Yeah. So people asking about finding the bracket. The bracket's on the Utreon. The deadline for submission's over. It was back at the 3rd, but you can still get a bracket and fill it out if you want. Send it to us. We'd love to see what you guys think.
We will
And
keep them
shout
separate, though.
out to Memphistopheles, who made a JavaScript live updating version of the bracket that is available on print2a.com on the wiki. The page is being kept up to date by Andre A1, and host server is hard at work making Print2a keep working. So shout out to all of them. Go check out the bracket there.
Do you think that's a link we can put in the description and not get in trouble for?
I think
I don't
probably.
think it is.
It's the wiki page.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah,
we'll put that.
maybe
We'll
not.
put that
I
in the
don't know.
description. I don't know.
We
I
can
think it's
drop it in
probably-
a pinned comment, if anything.
All right. Yeah, let's try that.
So if I understand correctly, the print2a.com, they are also hosting file locations. Is that correct, Bob?
That is.
Yeah, there's a handful of them that are over there. Yeah.
Okay. So they've been just collecting all the data. I think there's a lot of information on that website. So
for this specifically, I actually still have to send Andre A1 a couple. Reach out to me today, say, hey, I can't find these 3, and one of them I already had. The other one I know where it is. I just have to. It's kind of down the Odyssey hole. It's in there. I think there's only one that I didn't have the link ready to go. But yeah, huge shout out for aggregating all that information, for having those links available for anyone that wants to go get these projects or learn about what they missed, and archiving this for all of time. Yeah, that's incredible.
So I'll throw this out there. If you guys go to print2a.com or wherever, Odyssey, and get these competitor frames, you print them out and you send them to us. We'll make a nice little slideshow.
Pictures. Send pictures.
Week.
Don't send frames to us.
Yes, please send pictures. We don't want your firearms.
Getting me in trouble, man. Come on.
Especially if they're not in nylon.
Right.
Yeah. So we'll make a little slideshow for next week, and we'll show them all off. So all the VitYaz fan folk out there, send them in, and we'll show them off for you.
All right, Bob, talk to us a little bit about how next week's going. What's happening next week? Where we're going to see stuff? Who we're going to see?
I think we're following the script as written, especially because I didn't get a hold of anybody to. I know I said we're going to switch some stuff around, but Tuesday is Sabar again. Sabar did a great job. It's going to be real sad. The first week that I don't start my Tuesday with an hour on Sabar is going to kill me. So we'll be on Sabar Prince 2A on Tuesday night, 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific. Wednesday will be John Crump and Flying Rich again, 5 Eastern, 2 Pacific.
Is that going to still be at 5 p.m.?
Yep. I think. No, I'm just kidding. I ain't going to make Crump stay up past his bedtime. Yeah, or Rich. But Rich would get real cranky after that. Unless we end up shifting to somewhere else. I checked with them. Rich said they were good for that regular time. I know you like the later one. But the later is better for everyone, right?
West Coasters especially, but yeah.
Yeah, half the country, right, has to be sneaking out of work or just isn't ready, right, to be watching a whole hour show. And then I think Thursday we're here again, right?
That's right.
Thursday, I don't remember what the date is on Thursday, but Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific.
13th. Yep.
Lucky 13. Good for you. And then I guess I got Friday again, boys, over on the Putang Clan channel.
Right on. So everybody make sure you're checking out all those streams this next week for everybody here. And I think with that, does anybody have anything to shill today? Discord after parties there. I will post a link right now in the chat. We still got our discount codes for Coex, so go check out the Coex stuff. Out of Battery Live, I believe, is discount code. KAK, we still have a discount code. Out of Battery. And Matador Arms, right? Is that the other one?
I believe so. And if you forget about them, they're in the comment or the description. Sorry, they're in the description below the video. Yep.
So I think with that, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe on the videos here. Check out the Utron if you guys want to support us. We have subscription tiers from $3 all the way up to the Mr. Snow $50 tier if you're really balling out of control and just want to throw your money away. And that would help us out to continue to run this show and continue to bring you guys awesome content. So with that,
Rusty Shackelford, there is totally a consolation prize for worst bracket. It is in the shape
we'll figure it
of
out.
a gigantic tier.
Dude, honestly, so I have this roll of nylon
Wet
that I'm trying
filament.
to get rid of away. and I will send it to whoever has the worst bracket. Okay, so if you have the absolute worst bracket of the bunch, we're gonna make fun of you on stream, but you get a roll of nylon.
Yeah, you guys who had Mr. Snow and Chairman Juan in the finals, you're the ones we're talking about. They're out there.
Oh,
Hey Bob,
God.
thanks again for coming on, and
Thanks for having
we'll
me.
see you
Thanks
guys.
for everything, guys.
Yeah,
Run
we'll see
the
you guys next time.
outro, baby.
Hell yeah, dude.